Hello and welcome to Fin Business. Today we are in conversation with CB Anthony. He works with Edelweiss and looks at distressed asset resolution business. Sir, welcome on the show.
Thank you.
ARCs were formed to resolve the stressed assets, to provide a cushion to the banks. But since ARC is into the picture since many years now, how successful ARCs are?
The first phase is from 2002 to 2014, August 14. This is the first phase when ARCs were acting as only an agent of a bank. Why I say that? Because the skin in the game by ARCs was only 5% and 95% was security receipts. This was the structure in which banks used to sell the assets, which means they are an agent of a bank and you get a management fee for doing this business. Management fee is significantly high, which gives you very good return. One thing happened during this period was banks used to sell in portfolios. Large number of cases they will put in one basket and sell as a basket.
Right.
And 5% cash upfront they take and balance whenever recovery happens, it happens. If you really look at the quality of these assets, these all were actually junk assets. You know, every bank has a recovery department of its own. The recovery department do whatever they can,
And if it fails, then they will pass it to you.
unsuccessful, they pass it on to an ARC. This changed in 2014 August when Raghuram Rajan said that this is just not done. ARCs should have a skin in the game, and he also nudged the banks. You should sell assets which are of revivable and restructurable, so that they can be revived. That was a great change. It was a great change. ARCs which were very moderately capitalized, every ARC you can start an ARC with 2 crore capital because you were an agent. Capital was not necessary. But when 15% came, capital became very important. And it became an investment business. It's no more an agency business.
Right.
You need to recover and earn your 18 to 20%. As a distressed asset investor, I need 18 to 20% return. So if I have to earn 18 to 20% return, I need to recover 1.5 times of my acquisition price. So acquisition price determination became very important. So banks, so that was Raghuram Rajan's idea.
Yes.
Banks should sell these loans at the right price,
Right.
which was not the case in 595. So banks started selling at the right price. ARCs at 1585 they could buy. They could recover 1.5 times minimum. I am saying minimum, 1.5 times. So I would see, if you look at even my own experience, all 1585 cases, all 100% of my acquisition price will be redeemed, even more than that.
So what is the structure? What are the parameters? How actually do you revive the stressed assets? Because the stressed asset is coming to you in the final stage.
See, again, as I said, the quality of assets. If you look at, if the quality of assets and banks feel that these assets are very good, because of cash flow mismatch, my account becomes an NPA.
Right.
Let me hand it over to an ARC for some time. Okay, I will give examples of this. And when it recovers and when the company is back on its wheels, I think bankers should refinance and take it back.
Absolutely.
That should be the structure which I would dream to happen. But it is going to happen also. What banks should do, actually based on the quality of the assets, as soon as it becomes NPA in their book, initially they can try to help them by way of maybe additional funding if it is worth. If it is not, it's better for the bank not to keep it in their books for long, sell it to an ARC at the right price, which can be refinanced them, because banks also need to deploy their funds. Because see, in India, very peculiar situation. We are fund rich.
Right.
All the banks are flush with funds, but capital is low, very low capital. That's the problem our banks are facing. So as soon as it becomes NPA, hand it over to an ARC, try to get it revived and refinance them.
So how long this process is for you as an ARC to revive the assets? When you get the assets, how long does it take for you to revive? And how much is the resolution that you can actually make out of it?
Yeah. I'll tell you. I think it's better to talk about cases. In the south of India, there is a port. We bought this port from 5 or 6 banks. 100% of the debt is with us. This port has 2,000 crore of debt, and it was having an EBITDA of 60 or 70 crore, which is just inadequate to service the company. It had its own problems because of various reasons. The global trade was less. This was depending on some sort of particular cargo. So banks did a good thing by selling it to us, and we bought it at 100%, 100 cents per dollar. One other case, if I can tell, Balarpur graphics paper. If you really look, by last July, I think 17 June, July, EBITDA was almost zero because there was no working capital. So we gave working capital first because banks were not willing to give because company was in stress. Absolutely. We gave working capital and we offered to buy the loan from the banks. We bought all the loan from banks, that too again at 100%. All secured loan we bought at 100%, 100 cents per dollar. Today it's making nearly 40 crore EBITDA per month.
Wow, that's
It's
really
a great
interesting.
turnaround.
Yeah, I mean it's a unique thing.
So we have a number of cases. Actually, if you work with the company and if you understand the problem, I mean it takes a year or 1.5 years to put it the right type
Connect the right dots.
Absolutely, right type of financial engineering, and you in some cases you may need to give some managerial bandwidth.
Right.
In the port which I mentioned, in fact, we are virtually running the port. Our people are sitting. We have an operational turnaround team also. That team is sitting there and operating it.
What are the major challenges do you face when you actually do this financial engineering? Are the promoters coming to you and they are like kind of in a phase where they can negotiate, or they are ready to take your advices? Because at the end of the day, he's a borrower from a lender. Lender has given you that asset, so it's a different circle altogether. So what are the pain points are there?
See, actually, that's a very important question. Actually, we also choose. See, we choose two things. One is the promoter. Intent of the promoter and his history. We don't want to spend our time in courts with him.
Absolutely.
We don't want that. So we choose the promoter and choose the industry. If these two are right, I think we will go all out to buy and revive that. Okay. So very important. Promoter is very important. If a litigant promoter and you will waste all your time litigating with him. Even a slightly difficult promoter we can manage, particularly after IBC came, it's a big threat. IBC is a big threat to the promoters because once on NPA you lose your company, right? So it's a great threat.
True. So going ahead, can we see that ARCs will really become big when it comes to a level that okay, they will not only acquire the asset, but they will actually revive the assets going ahead, and the timeline will come down? What kind of future do you see for ARCs?
I think that is the role for ARCs. Going forward, that's the role for ARCs. You need to acquire assets which are operating. See, dead assets, I mean, that's not a game. Maybe there may be a few ARCs which focus only on sale of asset stripping and selling. But large ARCs will definitely look at only this model.
Okay.
Acquire assets which are operating, which have an EBITDA or EBITDA potential, and revive them. And you can create more value like that. Great value you can create.
Interesting, sir. Those were really interesting insights. Thank you so much for talking to Fin Business. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching.